Welcome back to TARTLEcast on this beautiful morning, 9:33 a.m., sunny New Mexico.
So perfect.
How could I not love all that vitamin D? Man, I'm feeling good.
Feeling great. And you got
like
some special water there.
Yeah, I was drinking a shout out to Mud Water. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Look at the data on ingesting mushrooms. The Mayans figured it out before that we even had scientific theory. And now we're just coming back around to it. Mud water is absolutely fantastic.
I think it's like lion's mane or one of them. You know,
it's got,
will build
it's
new
got
neurons
reishi,
in your brain.
chaga, lion's mane, and cordyceps.
So you're just getting full spectrum.
I got the cordyceps in my brain.
So there was this article on World Economic Forum, and the title is "The 3 Steps the Female Digital Revolution Can't Succeed Without." And it goes into mainly, and it starts with 3 bullet points, which I love when an article like highlights.
Thank you.
Highlights, like what the article's going to be talking about. First one is the pandemic is widening existing inequalities for women.
Yep.
Second is female entrepreneurs need access to finance, digital tools, and skills.
Yes.
And then putting women in leadership positions will help dismantle the social economic obstacles that hold them back.
So let's talk about this. For quite some time, the old rickety white males, whether it be at higher education or Fortune whatever companies, essentially your Fortune 0 if you don't respect people are all the same. There's very few women that have been in any sort of positions of authority. Political, financial, social, any of those things. It's been lacking. There have been groups that are just like, we don't want to upset the apple cart here. We got a nice thing going. That's probably what they're thinking. Well, that's, first of all, it's completely fundamentally flawed. Human beings are human beings, regardless of what biological sex that person has. It's not for you to determine whether or not they have value in a position of authority, depending on that biological sex. That's numero uno. And then number 2, because the world for quite some time you had to go to the office. I had to go through the hierarchy. I had to go through these steps. Like, that sucked. There were so many different barriers that would hold people back, specifically women. Now, what happens when the world becomes inherently more decentralized? What happens when all of these finance and digital tools and skills can all be found online? What happens when people can start to be their own boss, take their own free will and the power into their own hands to empower themselves?
Yes.
To make their own money. This is my business. If I want to sell freaking pinto beans online and I'm the queen of pinto beans, then that's what I'm going to do. And no other person is going to say, I can't be doing that. Or you're going to pay me less just because, I'm a woman. First of all, that's absolutely absurd. So what we found is that as there is this digital revolution, like you said in Africa, how many people in Africa have cell phones?
It's like in certain countries, because there's so many countries there.
Yeah.
But certain countries are 20%, certain countries are 40%.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about that.
So now you can, on your own, figure out the skills, go on YouTube, watch the videos, analyze the data, create it yourself, go through it, be your own boss, start your own business wherever you are in the world. You don't have to go through the old regime. The old regime's dying. The old regime that held women back. Screw those guys.
Well, I mean, we hired somebody recently. This is a prime example. I mean, you talked to them. They're in the Philippines. Yep. A woman, and she was an English professor, learned English really well, speaks it better than
Better
we
than
do.
you and I, yeah.
And then turned around and created a company off of YouTube, basically, like going on there and saying, okay, on the digital marketing side, how does this happen? How does this happen?
Screw that hierarchy. I'm going to go learn over here. I'm going to start my own thing.
And then she turned around and went, in the beginning, she turned around and went with people and said, hey, can I do this for free so I can learn from you? Just being straight up honest. Can I do this for free so I can learn from you? And then things started happening, being successful. And then people started wanting to pay her.
That's amazing. So she is but one of millions upon millions and millions and millions of women who are now doing those things.
Well, I mean, all you need is a desktop or a laptop.
Yeah. All commerce, service, all that stuff's online now.
So, I mean, whether you're a virtual assistant, whether you're like the call centers, they decided to do that where they were having people work from home and then they gave them headsets and they had their computer. Yeah. And they were able to answer phone calls based off of how their internet was. And, like at that moment, if they had great connection, the program decided that. So now you have a mom, you have a stay-at-home mom, and she's like, well, my kids are asleep from 12 to 4, in the afternoon. or my kids are sleeping at night and from this time to this time and the house is quiet. So for 4 to 6 hours, I'm available to answer calls for corporations.
I can make money from home on my own time.
Yes.
My schedule, my own empowerment.
Yes.
That's a phenomenal thing. Listen, this is why I think Tesla Starlink is fundamentally so important, because it's not limited by this infrastructure here on the ground.
Right.
You can put it in the air, and then people all over the globe are going to get access to the internet for $3 a day. The amount of money they make with their micro business, whatever it might be, can fund the payment for that internet.
Yes.
Okay. And then from that continues to give them that access that they need for their own self-empowerment. And they don't have to rely on a big office building and old white men in suits. They don't have to rely on that stuff. They don't have to rely on the hierarchies.
Yes.
They can rely on themselves. Women are powerful. But for so long, all these people, religion, whatever it says women aren't powerful, that's crap. You're only saying that because you're scared of them. That's what it is.
100%.
That is what it is at the end of the day.
Because who has the right to turn around and say this person that has this micro business will be successful because it's a dude?
Yeah, no, it's dumb.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, no, it's totally dumb. They're like those statistics, tall white men are more likely to be CEOs. Yeah, because they're all helping each other out.
Yes.
It's their own little cult.
It's the good old boy network.
Yes, the good old boy network. It's the good old I went to Wharton. That's all it is. Look at all the major companies. All you're going to say is UPenn Wharton, UPenn Wharton, UPenn Wharton, every single time.
And I love that the World Economic Forum put this article out there. They said this, to ensure these women entrepreneurs can survive and thrive in the digital economy, because we know with data, with the digital economy, with tech, that it creates a ton of opportunities for more people to have work. He said they need access to 3 critical enablers: capital, digital tools, and skills.
How do they get capital? Sell their data on TARTLE. Mm-hmm. How do they find skills? Go on YouTube. How do they get access to digital tools? More Starlink. That's the future.
Yes.
I have painted our future, and that's what it is.
Yeah, so, but
K-band satellite waves.
But this is the sad part. When they have a chart on here, I don't know, what are COVID-19's biggest impacts in your life? I don't know if you can see that in the article or not, but I'll go ahead. Number 1 was livelihood, and it was female to male, and so it impacted women, their livelihood. It was at 55%.
If I'm looking at this, all the guys, they don't give a shit about anything.
And then food was the next one, which was 40%. We have to realize, COVID disrupted, and we did a whole thing on the global world supply chain for food and how it created hunger in certain countries. And then
mental health.
Mental health, yes.
Well, if my livelihood's bad, if I'm not making money, I have no roof, I got no food, obviously that's going to attack my mental health.
I want to, we need to do a show on this because this pissed me off the other day. The government here in the United States came out. The government came out saying that
we're going to get a Tomahawk missile through our studio window.
The government in the United States came out with an article saying that suicides were down during COVID. Where's this data come from? I want to see this data.
Did they have economists write this?
Yeah, I want to see where this data came from, because there's literally, they were talking, I've been reading articles on this. They were talking about teenagers because they weren't in school, in high school and stuff like that. Like, there's this epidemic of teenagers just killing themselves like crazy.
There's no social interaction. There's nothing.
I was like, I've talked to police officers and politicians and different people, and they're all like, our suicide rate is 4 or 5 times. We used to get 2 or 3 phone calls.
Who the hell wrote that article you're talking about?
I don't know. You could look it up. I talked to this one police chief, and he goes, normally we would get, here in Albuquerque, he goes, normally we get like 2 or 3 phone calls a day.
Were you arrested?
No.
I was talking to the police chief.
No.
Down to the local substation.
And he said that it's like 2 to 3 times that a day more.
It's a shame.
So this data that's coming out, that's saying, these, and this is a part that upsets me, because now we've created, no, mental health's fine.
No, it's like China with the human rights.
We're good, guys.
Remember China with the human rights?
Yes.
Oh, we're not locking people in their homes. We're not preventing their freedom of movement. Everything's good here in China. Everything's all set. You don't have to worry about it.
So, mental health, food, and livelihood, we don't need to worry about Maslow's hierarchy, basic things for women.
Basic things. I can tell you, it looks to me like Maslow had it correct, especially for these ones.
But I want to get into the actions for leaders, because they put out some pretty heavy duty stuff for.
Yeah, they got some good points here.
And so I want to get into these, and then we'll close out. So they're talking about building for a more sustainable and inclusive economy is everyone's responsibility. Love that line.
Everyone's responsibility. Not a couple of companies, not this guy or this gal. It's every single person's responsibility.
100%. Governments must work to create a favorable environment for women-led small and micro businesses, including lower the cost to and risk in lending to women.
Why is it more of a risk to lend to a woman?
What year is it?
What? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Is this 1920s?
Last I checked, my siblings, my fiance, far more responsible than me.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
If someday I ever get in a relationship, I guarantee it'll be the same thing.
Like, are you
not
kidding?
responsible? Yeah, ensuring connectivity and internet access is a public good, and enacting policies that promote women's social economic autonomy. And I begin to think about that word autonomy.
Hold on a second. So the first part of this thing, TARTLE. Second part, Starlink. Third part, TARTLE.
And then next one,
favorable environment for small micro business, lower the cost of risk. TARTLE, ensuring connectivity and internet access, public goods. Starlink, enacting policies to promote women's socioeconomic autonomy. TARTLE. Okay. The private sector must recognize business case for gender equity. What do you mean the case for gender equity? There is only equity. What are you talking about? What do you mean we have a strong case for it? Don't tell me that crap. They're a human being. What is so hard for you to...
It doesn't need to go before the court of law. It's already decided.
A strong case for women to be leading in roles.
Yeah, designing new products with a gender lens and ensuring women are included in the design process. So I get this. I get what they're saying here in the sense of, besides
you talking about
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Schick razors.
Yeah, it's
why are they all pink?
Yeah.
Why are they all blue? And then what you find out is that the women's razors suck, and then the women are buying all the men's razors. One because it's cheaper, and because they shave better. Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's things like that.
Yeah, but some guy's like, I got an idea. Let's make the razor pink. Let's throw lotion around the edge of it because that's what women want.
We'll make it smell good.
Oh my gosh.
A dude totally
what's
came
wrong
up
with
that,
this world? You know, like what are we doing?
Is Elon Musk going to have to invent razors too?
Oh, yeah, he's going to have to. A new electric razor.
Yeah,
solar power electric razor.
Financial service providers must expand women's access to capital by reassessing risk models that exclude them and creating new ones. Okay, let me stop.
Dude, as you were reading that, I almost took the microphone and bombed it across the studio.
Financial service providers are saying it's more risky to make money lend to a woman.
Why?
I want to see the data on that and where that came from.
Yeah, show me. Prove it to me.
Especially now.
Was that the same time Harvard was measuring skulls on African Americans? Yeah.
How archaic is this, bro?
It's dude, this is... You want to know something? They were more intelligent in the Stone Age. You want to know why? We had pyramids built. Okay? Teotihuacan or whatever you say it. Go to Bolivia, Peru. Everything we build is a cardboard box. They have something that's in perfect measurement with all the celestial heavenly bodies, and we're writing stuff about not giving women access to capital because they're a woman.
We create these little boxes that's all about profit when we build the building.
We live in
Look
boxes.
at the great Greco-Roman. That stuff stands the test of time.
I know it does.
It just shows like there's,
Do we live in boxes?
And that we have no
people market.
There's no art in our
boxes.
buildings anymore or anything.
No.
So listen to this, bro. This is so great. This is TARTLE.
I'm anti-boxes. I told you I hate things that are square. I've said that 1,000 times.
That's why we have a circle table.
Yeah.
We would have a circle TV if you could.
I would have a circle TV. I would circularize, or I don't even know what the word is.
Circularize everything.
Yeah.
Financial service providers must expand women's access to capital by reassessing risk models that exclude them. And now listen to this. And creating new ones based on more holistic data.
Holistic data. Don't look at your totally perverse, skewed, distorted
from the
perspective
1950s.
From not even before that. Your Mad Men idea of value. Hello.
And they can hire and introduce digital channels for lending and hire more female staff in leadership roles. It's so funny.
I have my fancy come.
Go ahead,
Alex. Did you do the dishes? You said you were going to do it. Somebody's holding me fucking responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's being responsible in here. Clearly, it's not me. I take the trash out and never put a bag back in the trash can. I never do. She goes to open it up and throw something in there. She's like, "Are you kidding?" And then it's like, "But that's legit." Put her in a position of power. Look at her following up.
Well, I mean, we've just had so much male dominance and power and war, and it's all war.
I gotta hunt and go get the meat, right? I gotta do all this.
Yeah, put women in power and then give them climate stability and see what happens. They'll solve the problem quick. World hunger, they've already said that. They've done test models on that women, if they were empowered, would solve. So they can introduce digital channels for lending and hire more female staff in leadership roles. Next, civil society must recognize women's economic aspirations.
Wait a minute, hold on. Civil society must recognize that women want growth and evolution just as much as men do? I want you to rip every single one of my eyelid hairs out, my eyelashes. I want you to take them all out one by one.
And engage men and boys in supporting women's leadership of micro and small businesses. So, this is a huge word, and we talk about this. And number 2 in our big 7 is educational access.
Yeah.
So this is education right here.
This is education, human rights, and economic equalization.
Egalitarian education
This is 2, 3, and 7 for us. So that's a 12. That's a 12-pointer.
Yeah.
Congratulations, World Economic Forum, for talking about a 12-pointer. This is how we're going to rate stuff. Okay, did you hit 1 through 7? If you did them all, you got a lot of points here.
And then in the end, they say this, last paragraph, by adopting a human-centric, market-based approach.
What-centric?
Human-centric, market-based approach.
I'm sorry, what-centric? Please say it a couple more times.
Human-centric.
Human-centric. Interesting.
Market-based approach to supporting women entrepreneurs. We can ensure sustainable change that makes both business and social sense for private sector partners and women entrepreneurs alike.
Thank you. Thank you for they're good.
So market-based and human-centric. How is TARTLE that?
How is that? So TARTLE, it's people first, always. Is it a marketplace? Yeah, it's a marketplace for data. So we can economically empower women to allow them to share data, purchase data that can help their businesses, donate towards causes that they care about, I don't know, and then do a whole fleet of other things that they want to do. Why? Because they're a human being, not because they're a woman. That's what it's all about. You have full access. You don't have to plead your business case that you need access to the TARTLE marketplace. It is available for you because you're a human being.
Yes, 100%.
Gosh.
And so we encourage everyone, then go to tartle.co, sign up. Would love for you guys, if you guys are listening to us with Apple, through your Apple phone, would love for you to leave a review. That's how they rate our algorithm. And it's not how many downloads you get with Apple, it's how many great 5-star reviews you have. If you don't have time to leave a review, you could just go on there and push the 5 stars.
Yeah.
And that gets us on the whole idea is it ranks us higher on the technology side of things.
If you like what we said about treating women as human beings, give us a 5-star.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're a guy, give us 25 stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be nice to humans.
But they got before you close out, I drove by a fence yesterday. You know, people put cups in the fence.
Oh yeah, I saw that over here. Yeah.
Dude, be nice.
Yeah, dude, be nice. It's perfect.
Yeah. Should I share a short story real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why not? We're 18 minutes in. I'll close it out 20. I'm on a bike path over here in Albuquerque. Just rummaging along, right? Enjoying myself. I'm in my lane. Guy rips by. Just rips by. And he's like, on your left, stay to your right. And then he starts mumbling some profanities under his breath. I'm on a fixie. I'm on a single gear. I have 2 other women here with me. You're gonna talk to these people like that? Like, where's your sort of respect? I bomb up to this guy's on a $10,000 bicycle. I'm on a single gear. And I'm looking at him. I was like, is everything okay? Are you that upset with the world? Are you that upset with the world that this is what you want to do? Dude, be nice. That's all you got to do.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything. I was essentially like shaming him in front of his bike buddy he was riding with.
Right.
I'm on a fixed gear. I have 1 gear. You're on a $10,000 bike. You're like trash talking. You think you like own the world. Your chauvinistic ideas, get them out of here. Time for you to go. Your old regime.
It's just be considerate of others.
Just all you got to do is be considerate. Treat a person like a human being.
And value them as much as you value you, because we're all...
I'm literally on the bicycle, like watching butterflies and birds go by, and I'm just like, la, 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 la. And I just got a hardo that blows by and wants to trash talk because he thinks he owns the world. That sort of egoistic... That
mentality is what the problem
is what the problem is here.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to go. Just like you and I need to get off this podcast.
We're out.
We need to go.